So welcome back to Curse of Strahd Session 7. It is... We have not managed to kill anybody lately. We did manage to get Irina and Ismark to let us work with them again, whatever that means. So our players are Nanaha, the Team Heart, played by Lumi-chan. Nanaha is...
Apparently a very emotional character, go figure there, from Sever's Wall, who was found in a coffin and has her lovely lightning fist, well, solar fists. Pew pew!
Saya, played by me, is a Water Ganassi warlock. She does not have an epithet yet. We're getting there. We're getting there.
She's Team Lantern. She's the Team Lantern.
Eventually, I will be able to take you guys into that lantern with me.
I don't want to go on there.
It's
Field trip!
It's a short rest in like minutes, so it's actually pretty useful. Raz, played by Mazegus. Raz is...
a really grumpy barbarian who has a level in fighter now.
Next is Pocket, played by Desane. Pocket is...
Zoom zoom. The Tabaxi Phantom, who's gonna eventually at some point stab something.
Next is Team Mom, Verity, played by Mr. Pounce the one and only Mr. Pounce.
Yeah, this is the worst one yet. You don't say to TV. It's like the P and parent pterodactyl.
God damn it, Pounce. At least I stumbled and like caught myself and fixed it.
Just go to the next one.
Okay.
Hashtag professional streamer.
I try. Next we have Axel, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is...
Axel is a devotion paladin and friend of Pocket and slowly becoming dark grumpy man.
And finally, our GM extraordinaire, Fluffy Snowfall, is here, and I am passing the reins to her. This is her show now.
And by your powers combined, I am apparently a Hot Topic Molgoth.
100% into it.
Wait, what happened? Wait, really?
Alright. So, last time, the party made their way to Valakai. After a very emotional reconciliation with Ismark and Irina, they managed to find a bit more direction and purpose to their travels. Pocket ran afoul with the area law enforcement by standing up to what can only be assumed as the captain of the guard, a tall, imposing man with a overly mutated arm. That did not go very well for Pocket. The group managed to escape with some creative thinking by the group's warlock Saya. However, Pocket is now, as many posters have been put up, a wanted criminal. Of other interest in the town, apparently, there is a new festival coming, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. What that's going to mean, we don't know yet. And lastly,
Roz hates it.
yes, and lastly, excuse me, the group has been given some decisions. Theoretically, tomorrow, Strahd will be visiting the village or a representative of him to collect Irina, as Roz had made a deal with him previously. The party can also go down to the winery, the Wizard of Wines, to try and procure some wine shipments to barter their way into the walled city of Kresk to the west. Or they can also go and explore the old abandoned wizard's tower that happens to be right upon a nearby lake. The group ended with a rather long discussion, and everyone was left to rest for the night.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Thank you very much for the follow, Rando Demon. I like your name.
All right. Pocket,
Yes.
during your long rest, just you feel an overwhelming sense of guilt for not being able to discuss, being able to help the child. You ruminate on this for a while, and as you're sleeping, whispered into your ear is, "You must find a way to save them. You must find a way. You must find the way to save them." You feel a presence, several presences around you. You're able to sleep through them mostly. It's a little unnerving, but at this point, the voices are becoming something you're used to, for better or for worse. When you wake up, you are now proficient in investigation instead of intimidation.
Got it.
Raz, while you are in your trance, typically you have full control over the visions and the dreams that you have while meditating. However, this night, you see, from first person, a bloody battlefield. There are corpses strewn everywhere. There are people talking to you that you don't recognize. You look, your hands, they're covered in blood, but they don't seem to be your hands. The skin is much paler, much more well-groomed, but you're fully armored in a thick, full plate. You hear screaming off in the distance. You see a village burning. You wonder what this could all mean. And before you have a chance to really make any sense of it, the vision cuts out.
Was there any sort of filigree or emblems on the plate mail that I saw?
Yes.
Should I just note a certain symbol, or
Um,
will you notify me if I recognize it in the future?
So I will describe it. It is a. It's kind of a side profile of what seems to be a raven in front of a kind of a tower type emblem. You're not entirely sure of the significance of it yet.
Okay.
The rest of you sleep relatively unencumbered. It's nice to actually have a bed. Something many of you haven't had in a while, but it is what it is. you wake to a rumbling thunder outside. Kind of a low rumble that shakes the Blue Water Inn.
Nanaha wonders out loud, are those people still in the stocks in this shit?
Most likely, yes.
Few law enforcement worry about how they get their bath.
Shouldn't law enforcement at least put a shelter over them?
Do you think the law enforcement really cares what happens to them?
They typically don't. Frick.
I do hope Pocket wasn't feeling adventurous last night.
Only one way to find out.
Nanaha goes nowhere.
Where? What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Changed my mind.
Saya's just gonna go and, she's actually going to knock mostly because she doesn't feel like walking in on them right now.
Sure. On Pocket and Axel?
Yeah.
Axel, being a light sleeper, probably hears it. Axel would probably be up by now, so he'd yell out, "Good morning. We're just getting changed."
Pocket is actually just laying in bed, listening, staring at the ceiling.
So Saya will stick her head back into the main room. Well, it sounds like they're both in there right now.
Okay, well, first things first, perhaps we should get some breakfast. Can't do anything on an empty stomach, or at least shouldn't.
Do we want to finish our conversation downstairs or up here where we cannot be heard?
We were conversing?
We were going to decide what to do for the day.
Yeah, we haven't actually decided where the party's going just yet.
Well then, I guess maybe drag the other party members back in here?
Axel, having gotten his armor set up and his cloak, comes out, his head freshly shaven, his facial hair kind of got a day's grow. Morning, Sai. Do you want me to bring some food up for everyone?
Sure. That works. It sounds like we're going to finish our conversations in this room.
Alright, sounds good. I pop my head in the room for a second and inform the group that I'm going to get food and just take, orders from everyone.
Meat.
Protein.
No. What they said.
I have no idea what they eat here.
And the tall glass of milk if they have it.
Yes.
The dark side.
Axel just chuckles and starts heading toward the downstairs.
All right. Axel, while everyone's getting ready, you make your way downstairs. Axel, you make your way downstairs. The common room is still relatively busy, all things considered. You see, some of the familiar faces from last night. The two kind of grumpy-looking guys sitting at a set of tables. They're in shabby nobles attire. There's two gruff individuals in the back, already probably in their second bottle of wine for the day. Make your way up to the front of the tavern. You see Erwin and Donica. You also see at at the bar the carnival man Rictavio getting a bundle of food as he starts to head out of the inn.
Um, I just like pleasantly greet him as he's leaving, with a good morning, and turn to the two bartenders and just greet them as well, and let them know I need breakfast for 6.
Sure. Rictavio kind of bows and gives a little bit of a flourish and makes his way out. All right, what would you like? We have bread. We have soup still from that's on the cauldron. Otherwise, what are you looking for? Something a little more hearty?
Yes, I think so. Although all that sounds good.
All right. Well, I will at least prepare some bread and soup to be sent upstairs. Is there anything else you require?
There was a there was a request for a tall glass of milk.
We might still have some from the last time we traded with the Vistani. Let me go take a look.
Thank you very much. You know where we are.
Yes, no problem.
Um,
There was also a request for meat. A lot of meat.
I thought that was covered by the heartier part, but I will make certain that it's like, hey, do you have steaks or something along those lines?
You
Yeah,
didn't
sorry.
order
Steaks,
anything
maybe.
for Ismark and Irina.
Sorry, I should have been a little more clear. I said, there's bread and soup unless you want something heartier.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry. I thought I had said that would the something heartier. My intention was to say that the bread and soup sounds good to start, and if you can get something heavier, that would be appreciated.
Sure. Erwin's like, all right, we do still have wolf steaks ready. That will be, those are going to be something we'll have to charge you for, though, just because they are a little harder to come across.
No, absolutely. Just put it on the room.
All right, I will send the bill. Just for the party's awareness, how many people are going to want steaks?
Roz.
Okay.
Nanaha.
Okay.
Pocket will.
Okay.
I mean, if everybody's eating them, Verity will, but she just, she's not going to say anything like, yes, I want that. She just eats whatever.
Okay.
Size fine.
There
Soup and
is
bread, so.
because each steak is 5 silver.
Nanaha will pay 5 silver.
Okay.
Done.
All right. A little while longer. Donica comes up with a cauldron and some bowls. She does have a glass of milk, and she hands that off. You are rather lucky, actually. We just traded last night, apparently. Erwin handled it, so I wasn't aware. Should be fresh. Did not have any of the signs of curdling. This was for... Which one was the one who wanted the milk?
Roz just points at the cat.
All right. She hands it over. She hands over some bread.
Glug, glug, glug.
And there are several, slabs of raw... Oh, well, not raw, but seared red meat that are passed around.
Delicious.
While we breakfast, I'm going to go put my laundry in the dryer, so nom nom nom.
Mm-hmm. She will head back downstairs. It's the meat is good. It's gamey, but it's good. This is probably the first time many of you have eaten wolf before.
It is an interesting texture.
Food is food. milk mustache, steak juice all over the mouth. Yeah, sloppy eater here.
Might want to wash up before we head out.
Mogget is just trying to like pull chunks of meat off the steak when people aren't looking.
Nanaha will offer some chunks of steak to Mogget.
The skeletal pseudo dragon chirps happily and chomps on a piece of steak. The chewed steak then falls through the rib cage.
I was just about to ask. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yep. Saya's just watching this going, yep, I'm going to be cleaning blood off of that. Or juice off of Mogget.
Sees if Mogget's looking and then offers the same chewed piece of meat again.
Mogget will indeed eat the same piece of chewed meat as it falls through his their rib cage once again.
I wonder if the milk would do a Mogget good.
Maybe if you dunk them.
With what little milk there is left, I'm gonna offer it to Mogget.
Mogget tries to drink but realizes a little too late that they have no tongue. And so they just kind of like rattle their muzzle in the milk.
They're the cutest.
All right. Now that you have been properly fed, there was the discussion of the day's activities that were left. Do you wish to have them as the party, or would you like to pull anyone else in?
Uncertain.
So before, just as the party, like as the six of us are here, so if we're still uncertain about what we're going to be doing, I think the best course of action would be to get Irina and Ismark out of here. And I understand taking them with us also carries its risks, but at least then they've got a semi-competent group of bodyguards at the very least. And the vineyard seems like a good lead to get them somewhere safer.
Nanaha would say, well, I could say, actually, are you sure that we want to take them out of here? We just need something defensible. What has the strongest walls?
Well, what are we defending from?
Senior Vampire.
Do you think walls will really keep out Senior Vampire?
Seemed to work at the last place.
The last place we had just some wolves that were clawing at the outsides of their house. I don't think Senior Vampire was the one who was really trying to get in.
Well, he got his fangs into her before. I don't think he's kidnapped her before.
Ismark said something about he gets invited in and they never remember how.
So something with fewer windows and a lot of people to not let him in?
Well, he's very persuasive, so he likely can just ask to be let in, and most people will do it.
So what has fewer windows and not a lot of people to let him in, or at least have spots that we can start smacking him if he tries to get in?
Well, I mean, there is a point for Kresk there, where it sounds like they don't let anyone in.
Yes, but we got to get them to let us in.
Right. Well, hopefully the wine lets us do that.
Can we get the wine and get to Kresk in the same day?
I think that's why Axel is suggesting we bring them with us.
I think, from what I remember, Kresk was only a few miles away, which is within 1 day's travel. The only concern would be if the people with the wine, do typical RPG type stuff and have us do something for them, and then, how much time does that take?
Maybe we should bring Ismark and Irina at this point then. Bring them into the conversation, I mean. And maybe what is his name? The tavern owner. Because he would know best about how the place the winery is built.
You mean Erwin?
Thank you. I knew it started with an I.
Technically, it starts with a U, but same diff.
Aw, dang it. But still, it wouldn't be a bad idea to ask him about his dad's place, in case we're too late to leave the winery and we have to stay the night there. Is it really defensible?
So if we're going to pull Irina and Ismark in, I think we're going to dive back into in-character conversation.
Sounds good.
There's that Pat Rothfuss looking boyo.
All right, you managed to pull everyone in. Ismark and Irina were both up. Irina was sitting on the bed reading, and Ismark was poring over some various documents. You knock on the door. They're both interested in coming over for the conversation. The early morning rush at the inn has settled down a little bit, so Erwin is able to make his way upstairs. All right, so what is this important meeting we all have to have?
So, we need to keep Irina safe, and what seems to be a consensus among many party members is that we should try to get her to Kresk. And in order to get her to Kresk, we would potentially need to make friends with your dad and deliver some wine to there to make friends with them. Now the question is should we say take Ismark and Irina with us to talk to your dad and something happens so that we have to stay the night there? How defensible is it in case everyone's favorite vampire tries to make an appearance?
Well, I mean, it's typically decently defensible. It's stone, and there are a lot of people typically on guard over there. If you would have to stay, that wouldn't be that terrible. The only concern I would have is that if something happened to my father and the others, it might be a bit dangerous to head over there.
Which brings it back to Ismark and Irina, and whether you two think it would be safer to come with us into an unknown situation or stay here while we wander into an unknown situation.
Otherwise, we can try to stay here, defend the place, and then head out in the morning to take care of trying to secure a wine delivery.
Ismark kind of hems and haws and runs his hands through his thick hair. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little hesitant to run the risk of being out on the open road at night, but if we know something is going to be happening, I don't know if I want to stay here. Irina just kind of sighs. Brother, you know I am right here. I am not some helpless damsel who cannot take care of herself. I know, sister, I know. But there is a lot to be wary of right now. Well, fine. I will listen to what the group has to say. My personal opinion is that the Martikovs have done a good enough job thus far. They've been on the lookout, and there hasn't really been any signs. If we could make our way into somewhere a little more defensible, Erwin kind of like, well, there is the attic. We could bring you up there.
Fewer windows, I'd hope.
Yes. There is none, but might be worth it just for the night.
It would only be one night.
She just kind of shrugs. Whatever you all want to do. I do not like the idea of being trapped up there, but if it is to, keep Strahd from getting access to me, it might be for the better to do that.
What do you guys think?
I think I've done enough so far, even though if I had to say anything, I'd want to help those people in the stocks.
Well, what is going to be different tomorrow than it is today?
The Strahd meeting will have come and gone.
But if we know he's going to be here, why would we want to be here? I would think any other place would be better than here, if we assume he's going to be here, which he may not if the coffin maker has not given him any indication.
Roz, just for my memory's sake, you did bring up to the Mardikovs about the coffin maker, right?
Yeah, and he was going to get back to us today after looking into it.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Erwin kind of clears his throat. We did look into the coffin maker's shop. It is completely boarded up, and he seems to have been hiding himself inside. I do not know if that means he is suspect of something or if he is being manipulated for something. I do not know.
Either way, that is suspect and something we may want to look into.
Yes, I agree. It may be worthwhile.
Perhaps that is what we do today. If Irina and Ismark stay here for the day, we can go visit this coffin maker during the daylight hours. And if it is, if the coffin maker is a vampire or if his patron is visiting, then we'll at least have the advantage of whatever daylight this might be considered.
That would probably be wise. I will keep an eye on it, and if anything changes before you head that way, I will let you know.
Hey, Erwin, since you've been having people look around, how are the people that are stuck in the stocks? Do you know?
Wet. I do not mean to belittle their plight. They are still there. They are to be let out before the festival in 2 days.
And there's a big sigh from Pocket, just a sigh of relief.
I mean, they've been there since the last festival, but
At least they'll be let free, and well, I suppose I have to ask, will they be harmed after they're let free?
with the way that Baron Vargas and his lackey Izek Strasny are involved, they will probably get a backhand to the face. But as long as they do not make trouble, as it were, they would be let free.
Fine. All right, that's good enough.
Ismark kind of was like, well, I might actually. I have been looking over some of the authority I might have as interim burgomaster of Barovia. I might be able to make a plea with Vargas to have them released today, if that is something you wish.
I just worry
If you
about them
can.
being out in the storm.
I
I will so
will-
strongly.
I will try. It is. Last I saw him, I was but a boy, but I might be able to, if anything, use my father's station and news of his passing to attempt to pull a favor.
If there's any way that I can help, I definitely will.
I would suggest staying away from them right now since you're kind of obvious, honey. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm in agreement. There have been more posters posted since yesterday's event, so you are very wanted right now, Pocket.
Speaking of wanted, Irina, are you particularly famous here?
She raises an eyebrow. Not really. Why? That is a little strange.
Well, after my altercation the other day with that big fellow, something fell out of his pocket, and I picked it up, and I'll hold out the doll that looks like her. He had this on him.
As you say it fell out of his pocket, Irina gives you a look indicating she's kind of aware of that the fact that you did steal it.
Sheepish shrug.
But then she looks at it, and then you see kind of like a little queasy look on her face. What is this?
I was hoping you knew, since it's you.
Why would he have... What? She just kind of looks it over. Ismark looks a little concerned. They pass the doll back and forth. This can't be. This can't be. This...
It would appear someone other than Strahd has eyes for you.
Ugh. As you're passing it back and forth, you do notice that there is a small tag on the bottom of the doll stitched to the left foot.
What does the tag say?
It says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
The heck is a Blinsky?
Wait, the toy maker? Huh.
You have a toy maker that makes dolls of actual people?
This is the first I've ever heard of it, but no, they're right out a little off town square. There is a strange fellow named Gedolf Blinsky. He is a toy maker who lives in the village. Large fellow, wears a jester's cap. Yes, he's a little eccentric, but
Then it makes me wonder if him and the coffin maker were working together to get Irina.
perhaps. I mean, it is not outside the realm of possibility.
Well, it could be a second place to be visited today.
Seems we have quite a few conversations to have.
Yes, it seems like we do. Do you wish for me to come with, or should we tend to our business here?
We could go to the toy maker first and then go check out the coffin maker.
Alright, well, Ismark, why don't you go meet with Vargas? I will accompany our friends to go see what this Blinsky is up to. Just because I'll be entirely honest with you, it really creeps me the hell out that someone is asking him to make dolls of me.
Sounds like a plan to me. What do you guys think?
That sounds
Sounds
fine.
good.
Our job is to protect her. I think it's a good idea.
We'll just, after we're done talking to the toy maker, bring her back here. I don't want the coffin maker to see her.
Definitely not.
What was that? Sorry, you came across very muffled.
I don't want the coffin maker to see her.
Yeah, after the toy maker, we come back here to drop Irina off before going to the coffin maker, just in case.
Yeah, that she's in agreement with that.
Ready and break.
We have a plan. Go, go, go! Before we change our mind.
Oh, does anyone have like bandages? Though I have this lovely cloak that Roz gave me. Lights phone. I'd kind of like to at least help hold down my ears. It kind of makes cloaks a little awkward.
I have bandages.
Done. I'm gonna try to like bandage my ears down a bit so that it's not obvious that I have giant cat ears under the hood of the cloak.
You may want to wrap a bit around your chin and your hands as well. We can tell everyone you're like a diseased leper or something.
That might freak them out more. Maybe a burn victim.
Or
Tooth
or
injury?
he could just wear gloves.
Gloves.
And she
Like your style.
She turns to Ismark. Brother, give me your gloves. And he just is like, all right. And he pulls them off his hands and hands them over. These look like they should fit, give or take.
I'll put them on and flex my hands a little bit. Make sure it's not restricting movement.
It's a little tight, but nothing outrageous.
Can't have anything encumbering his ability to run away.
You know it. So bandage the ears, and like let my tail run. Well, I guess just in front of everybody. We're gonna kind of get naked in the corner. Run my tail down one leg and kind of bandage my tail to my leg.
Okay. We're gonna just Pocket, since you're gonna be doing this, could you roll me a we're gonna say just an intelligence check?
Seems accurate.
Oh.
Okay.
How do I look, guys?
So he's, he did a decent adjacent job, but he still, if someone looked at him up close, they would definitely see that he is some sort of cat person. With the cloak, he'll have better chance at getting by, but I mean, like, he'll probably only really fool somebody who's hard of sight.
Maybe
Okay,
if the toy maker isn't evil, maybe he sells masks that aren't possessing? I don't know.
So, Verity has spent many years, based on her race and sorceress origin, kind of like doing exactly what Pocket is trying to do, sort of, trying to like, conceal herself, even though they both have oddly shaped heads and tails. Is there any way she could like help him, like adjust his like, his his business? I guess would be the.
She disappeared, and now she's back.
Try
Discord
again.
crashed.
Hi, sorry, Discord crashed.
Oh, that's okay. That's a guy just said. Verity has spent like a lot of her years, because of her race and her sorceress origin, doing exactly what Pocket is trying to do right now. Is there any way she could like adjust him to like help him
Yeah,
or improve his disguise?
I will let you decide. Either you can roll you can, either make the roll as well, or you can give him an advantage.
I mean, statistically, it's probably better to have advantage because her intelligence is only 12. So it's only like 1 point better?
Yeah,
1 point better than me.
I figured this would be more of a disguise kit, but folks aren't trained in it.
Yeah, she's good at persuasion, not deception.
Still your call. Whether you're eating
No,
or
she's not going to do it for him, but she gets up. She's like, here, let's try a few different things, and we'll just give you advantage.
roll one more.
Yeah. Okay, it's better.
Almost at 19.
Yeah, it was really rolling on that 19. It's better. You know, you're able to get it a better job. As long as Pocket kind of stays off to the side and doesn't make too much of a commotion, most folks may overlook him.
All right, we're ready to go. And he's going to put on the cloak and pull up the hood, make sure the gloves are tight, and kind of get a little antsy. Let's go.
Dublinsky's to see if he's a jerk.
All right. The rest of you all get yourself together. Erwin heads back downstairs. Ismark follows suit. The 7 of you gather your things, and you make your way out to the streets of Valakai. Despite the rain, it's not too terrible. It is a cold drizzle, but the overhead thundering is much more violent than the storm gives credit to. People are going about their business. You see villagers walking towards the town square. You see some folks, bartering. A few people going into shops. They don't seem to be giving you too much attention. A few people give the group a side eye when they particularly notice, like Saya or Roz or Verity. A couple of people
hide in Saya.
give Pocket an incredulous look, but they don't seem to do anything about it. But at this point, you make your way down, and you see in front, you see this rickety old shop front. The cramped shop has a dark entrance portico. There's a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a large letter B engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are 2 arched, lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you see jumbled displays of toys and hanging placards bearing the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
He really needs to worry or at least work on that catchphrase. That doesn't sound right.
Well, it's "is no fun, comma, is no Blinsky."
Yeah, still doesn't sound good.
Yeah, seems like there's supposed to be an "if it's not" kind of thing. It's no fun if it's not Blinsky.
Or if it's not fun, it's not a Blinsky.
Do you head inside?
Is the
it
shop
open?
open? Yeah.
The door does seem to be open. You do hear commotion inside.
Alright, well, I'll head in.
All right, as you open the door, there's a little ringing bell hung above it. You see this heavy-set man in essentially what looks to be jester's attire. On his shoulder sits a small monkey in a pink ballerina's tutu. You should see a new handout in your journals of Blinsky.
I like this guy.
I don't know why in my brain I decided it was red and gold for Jester's attire, but...
As the little bell above the door rings, the man, claps his hands and, hurriedly shuffles over. "Hello, customers! Welcome, friends, to House of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know little child in need of joy? Little toy for girl or for boy? The monkey just kind of... kind of screeches a little bit, sniffs the air.
Do you do custom jobs? If I know what I'd like.
Yes, I have been, I can do custom jobs. Do you have,
Then I
Do you
will circle around him while he's talking to get behind him, and then put an arm over his shoulder to point at Irina. I'd like something like her. Whispered in his ear.
Be creepy about it, jeez.
he, you see his eyes go wide. Oh! Oh my! Hello! You look very much like description given to Blinsky by Customer. Have we met before? No, I do not believe we have. She just kind of looks a little confused. Well, I am glad to be finally meeting you. He seems a little, I don't want to say oblivious, but he doesn't seem to be grasping the seriousness of the situation.
Who's got the doll?
Pocket, I think.
Wordlessly, Pocket will pull it out and hand it over.
Oh. Where did you be finding this? Only one customer has been buying.
We found it on the street. Our friend here was concerned that it looked so much like her.
Ah, I am seeing. Well, if you wish to leave, Blinsky can give to customer next time he is coming.
If we wish to live? Raising eyebrows.
I think he
What?
tried to say leave, but he's got that accent.
Yeah, it was if you wish to leave it. He's got a very heavy accent.
You said has been buying, as in buying multiple times. Has he purchased more than one?
Do you want to roll a insight check, please, Roz?
Want to? No. But I will.
Wait, your int is also negative?
No, insight's based off
Insight's
wisdom.
wisdom.
Oh, I always get it mixed up with investigation. That's me.
You're not entirely sure, but something doesn't seem to be... He seems to be hiding something, Roz. And he just kind of responds, yes. Every month he comes by asking for a new doll.
And how many months has it been?
It has been... perhaps a year?
So you've made 12 Irina dolls for this gentleman?
Well, technically 13, and he points to one that's currently sitting on a display case with a little placard that says not for sale. This one looks even more like Irina than the last one did. She kind of shudders a little bit. Okay, why is he asking for these? Blinsky's not knowing. He comes by, gives description. I make toy. Until now, I did not know that that you were model for it.
We'd like to return it ourselves. Could you tell us who?
Roll a persuasion check. He seems a little nervous at that request.
This is what I get for taking intimidation.
He's like, well, you could leave here, and then Blinsky will give y'all when he came by for a new purchase.
While this conversation's going on, other than the door that we came in, how many other doors are there here? Does it look like there's a trap door to a basement that obviously has a monster? And just like entrances and exits
Okay.
from where you're standing.
Roll me either a perception or investigation.
You know what? We'll do investigation and we'll actually walk around.
So you give the shop a once over. It's a very small, cramped, almost studio apartment sized kind of shop front. There doesn't seem to be any trapdoors you see. The only other door in the storefront is the one in the back that Blinsky came out of. You assume, based on kind of some of the other houses you've seen, that this may be where he lives in the back. But there's no secret things. Most of the things you end up just seeing are various little, almost like clockwork toys sitting around on the displays.
Any of them look particularly expensive? Or obviously fancy?
I mean, they all vary. One of them you see is a strange-looking headless doll, next to which there are a small sack of various heads that you could seem to be putting on it. There is one that's a small little miniature gallows, and there's actually a weighted man hanging on it. And when you hang it, if you pull down on it, there's a little trapdoor that opens in it.
Well, that's macabre. Well, if his back is turned at any point to me while I'm just walking around the store, definitely want to swipe something that is smaller than the size of Bucket's own hand. Just any small toy.
Okay. Most of them are going to be a little on the bigger side. There's nothing that you could easily palm and walk away with.
Then never mind. Back to the conversation.
Why wait until he comes by? This is such a fine toy, I'm sure. He must be missing it. You should tell us who it is so we can return it to him today, she says, hoping that they don't have to wait days for this to happen because they're kind of on a timetable here.
Okay. Are you trying to be forceful about it, or are you trying to be
She's trying to appeal to his to his sense of craftsmanship. She's basically trying to
Butter him up.
yeah.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
There's the button.
All right. You'll be seeing very nice customers. Blinsky will tell you only if you promise not to tell many other peoples. Yes.
And Verity uses thaumaturgy to turn her eyes pink, and she winks at him and says, "Don't worry, it will be our little secret."
The monkey tilts its head at you. All right. The Bjergomester's town guard captain, Izek Strizny, He has been coming by each month to ask for a doll. Each month, Blinsky be getting description from Izek. And Blinsky is being made to make doll. He just kind of looks at the floor a little solemnly. Blinsky is sorry for lying to you earlier. He is not lying. He is, what is weird? He is asking for Blinsky to make doll, or he burned down Blinsky's shop.
That
Oh
would be
my.
blackmailing, sort of. Threatening.
I'm liking this guy less and less, and Pocket will, I guess, talk for the first time in the shop.
Yes. Blinsky not be getting many mails or many letters, so not sure if letter is black. That doesn't seem to be a joke. He genuinely seems to not understand what the word blackmail is.
What language is he? Based on his accent, what language does it sound like he would actually know how to speak instead of this one?
Go ahead and roll me a history check. Unfortunately, the accent is just it's something you haven't heard before. You're sure it's not something plainer or something that is a little more esoteric. It seems to be heavily accented based off of some sort of local tongue, but you're not entirely sure.
Well, don't worry. We'll go return your fantastic toy to him and see if we can find you some more mail of any color.
Strange question. So, I know that you're taking commissions due to threat, which I do not want to do, but would you take commission for payment?
Yes, of course. What kind of toy are you looking for?
I'm looking for a mask that looks human.
You are wanting human mask. That is
Yeah, make me
very-
look like a dude.
What is dude?
A guy. A male.
Ah, yes. Blinsky could be doing that. You wanting anything special on dual mask?
I don't know. Maybe a beard? I think that'd be fun. Maybe some dark hair? I don't know. Roz, what do you think? What should I get for a male mask?
Well, since you're so bright and chipper, I'd say something with a smile on its face at least.
But not a creepy smile. I just want to look normal.
This is possible.
What about like a porcelain doll face?
I was thinking for a friend, really. A really tall friend of ours. Wink.
That is possible. Could be making out of wood or porcelain.
How much would that put me back if I were to commission something like that?
That would be 9 copper.
I could definitely do that.
And how much would it be for you to have it finished quickly and not tell anyone about it?
He kind of blinks. If Blinsky start now, could be done by end of day.
Marvelous.
Are
Don't-
there any... Oh, go ahead.
Make sure you don't tell anyone about it. We don't want anyone else to steal our amazing mask idea for themselves.
He looks a little indignant. Blinsky will not be selling. This is custom job for custom customer.
Oh my, what a professional.
Is there anything else Blinsky can be helping you with? Perhaps other toy while you wait?
Do you make puppets?
Yes. Blinsky is making many puppets.
She's gonna pull. Saya's gonna pull Mogget from her shoulder. Do you have a puppet that looks like this?
No, I do not. But could be making.
How much?
It would be 9 silver.
That's fair. That's gonna be a lot more intense. All right. Yes, she wants a puppet that looks like Mogget for reasons.
Alright. Misk will be done first if you are okay coming tomorrow for puppet.
Not a problem.
Sounds good to me. Nanaha's gonna look around the shop just to see what other kind of stuff he's got.
Sure. Nanaha, you also see the weird headless doll with the sack of heads. You see the little miniature gallows. You see a small set of wooden nesting dolls with, kind of seems to be like a Barovian commoner is like the outmost exterior. You see the little seam where you can pop it open and there'll be another one inside. You also see a small little wooden mobile there's various little bats hanging from it. You spin it, you see the bat's wings start flapping as it spins. There is a small little wind-up merry-go-round music box. And when you crank it, you see there are figures of little snarling wolves chasing children in place of horses. You see the other doll that looks like Irina, and then lastly you see a ventriloquist dummy that looks like Strahd.
How much for the Strahd dummy? For the Strahd puppet?
The ventriloquist dummy is 9 silver.
Done.
It is pleasure doing business with you, friends.
I'll
Happy
just
to
give him a
purchase.
gold, and he can keep the 1 silver.
He gasps very dramatically. You are our favorite customers. Please be coming back to Blinsky's whenever you want.
You're my favorite shopkeeper.
Well, we are going to have to come back tomorrow for the other things that you owe us.
Yes, we'll be seeing you later for custom purchases. May you
That's
all
totally
be
gonna happen.
having best of day.
I want to pet the monkey before I go.
Roll in animal handling.
Fuck my life.
You reach out your hand. The monkey sniffs at it. Seems to let you pet him.
He's so cute. Alright, I'm sorry. I have to go. Run up.
I like how Verity pegged this guy as like a simple dude, and she figured she could just like charm him, typical, swaying him stuff. The dude is just like unbelievably simple, like just even more so than.
I mean, it's nice to
Yep.
not have, somebody with an ulterior motive talking to us and whatnot.
Irina just kind of walks outside. That was the weirdest thing that has happened to me. And I've been bitten by Strahd.
I'm
Very-
laughing. Nanaha's not.
Verity stalks off, grumbling about how she must be losing her touch.
Alright.
Do
Well-
you want to go with us to return the doll, or would you rather not?
Give me a moment. Alright?
No problem.
And she kind of steps away in back of the alley.
Saya is gonna send Mogget At least just to keep an eye on her, make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she's disappearing into an alley, Verity's gonna kind of like not like spy on her, but just stand somewhere she can see down the alley out of a side eye.
Sure. The two of you see her kind of heading into the alley, and she is basically like tucking the end of her hair in, and pulling a cap out of her pocket, kind of like adjusting it so that it looks, that it's not has more of like a masculine hairstyle. She kind of like, she rubs off her makeup and kind of is like giving herself patchwork stubble with some charcoal. And, she seems to be, she takes off her top and is like binding her chest down before putting it back on. A few minutes go by and she comes back out. It's a pretty convincing disguise, for the most part. She looks more or less like what you would expect her twin brother to look like.
Very nice.
Saya nods. You're a lot better at that than Pocket.
It's probably not particularly
Hands on his waist.
high bar.
She kind of like chuckles. Oh, you know how it is, younger sister. Your father is the burgomaster. Sometimes you want to run off into the village or play games of theater with your brother. It's just something I picked up over the years.
I can't say I've had that experience.
I was gonna say Verity looks at Sai and was like, "Have you?" And then no, okay.
Don't tell Ismark I told you, but he makes a very convincing princess with giving enough inspiration.
Very nice.
One eyebrow goes up.
Saya's grin is wicked.
I won't say a thing, but I love to hear that.
Axel just chuckles.
I didn't want to play the princess when we were doing the play of the princess and the forest wolf, and so I convinced him to be the princess because I wanted to be the druid that came in to save her.
Makes sense. I would want to be the druid too in that scenario.
All right, well, let's go find. This is Strahd then.
Yes.
And what is this persona's name? Should we need to address you whilst we're in public?
1 second. We'll go with Nikolai.
All right, Nikolai.
And she kind of like clears her throat a little bit. All right, let's go then. And she can hear her putting like some gravel on her voice and trying to like masculine it up.
Saya's gonna turn to Axel and Pocket. You two should probably stay out of sight while we're talking to him.
Like maybe a street away or around the corner at least.
Close enough to help in case we need it, but far enough that you're not visible.
That seems like a good idea. We'll wait down the street as you guys talk to him. Verity, you can make loud noises, right? Just let us know if something goes wrong.
Excuse me?
Pocket is laughing.
Thaumaturgy, honey, I think he means.
She grabs Pocket's robe and gives him the most mom look that she has. And she stay out of trouble while we're gone.
Pocket is like full like wincing, even though there's no hit, like a hand up to guard and block.
Oh no.
Oh, that hurts her on the inside, but she won't let it show because emotions are for suckers. And so she lets him go.
They'll be all right, Pocket. We're pretty. Well, I guess after yesterday, maybe we're not. But in theory, it shouldn't be too hard to not show our faces, right?
What the fuck is wrong with your mic?
Am I really muffled?
No, it kept, like, making the noise as if you were muting and unmuting while you were talking, even though you clearly weren't.
Oh. I'm not sure. I might have let up on the shift key.
The crackling has gone away.
All right. Where would you all like to head? Are you going to go search the city or the village for Izek, or are you going to go to the coffin maker's shop?
Izek.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to the coffin makers with her, and she just got all gussied up for,
Come on, we gotta go out and party with Irina.
So,
Or, what was the
Nikolai.
name again?
Nikolai.
Nikolai.
Saya suggests going to the town square and checking the stocks again to see if we can find him. Seems
Okay.
like a good place to start.
All right. You all make your way back. You all make your way back down to the town square. The rain and the storm seem to have let up a little bit at this point. There's just kind of the pitter-patter of raindrops with the kind of the moldy, mildewy scent lingering behind. There's a chilly breeze blowing through the streets.
As we approach the town square, I put my hand on Pocket's shoulder and just slow up a little bit, so the group pulls away from us as we get closer.
Okay.
Sure enough.
You reach the town square, and there are people going in and out of shops, a few congregating and just kind of sitting and talking. There are individuals that are just kind of seems to be eating a meal or some sort. People bartering. There's some food stands, and you still see the stocks where they were before. I would like everyone to please roll me a perception check if you are wanting to look for Izek or anything in particular.
That motherfucker's the only one I'm looking for.
It's a good thing we've got Verity here.
Okay. Roz, you look around and you don't really see any of the guards right now. The stocks are still currently locked. People are mulling about. You do see that there are a few more posters that have been posted since last. More wanted posters for Pocket. The bounty award is now up to 500 gold.
Casually strokes his beard a bit. Says nothing.
Pocket and Verity. You see, at this point, a couple of men walking down the street, kind of the main drag. Seems, there's a kind of like a very lanky, almost like kind of hunched over figure walking forward. Got a very long set of greasy graying hair. And next to him you see another man with blonde, kind of wavy hair that you immediately recognize as Ismark. And they are walking and talking together, heading towards the town square. Verity, a few steps back, you see out of the corner of your eye, you do see Izek and a few guards following behind the two of them at a distance.
She will make a subtle motion with her over there, and also try to surreptitiously place herself between Nikolai and the guard. Not like, deliberately stand in front, but just sort of like break his line of sight so that he can't get a good look at her.
Sure. Is there anything you would like to do in preparation?
Oh god, oh fuck. I told the rest of the party about it, right?
Yeah.
What? I don't like having this responsibility, guys. What am I supposed to do in this situation?
What would Verity do?
Listen.
I don't know. Are we gonna be we didn't decide if we're gonna be diplomatic or just go in like spells blazing.
Well, I think we should be waiting to see if they're about to release all the people from the stocks first.
Observe.
Yes. Let's watch and wait. Yes.
If you're trying not to stand out, I would like you to roll a stealth check, please.
All of us?
All of it?
Anyone who's trying not to be seen.
At least it's a 10.
Why?
You all look, turn your head, and
Wow, it's the horns.
none of you can see where Irina/Nikolai has gotten off to. She just vanished.
Delightful.
What did she roll?
Net 20 for a total of 25.
Wow.
Saya, by the way, isn't even trying.
Neither is Roz.
Apparently Nana isn't trying because it's not very high.
With a +8, I'm apparently not doing my best. I'm too distracted by the fact that I'm worth more than I've ever been worth in any town that I've stolen from.
I envision
tried.
Pocket casually trying to stealth behind Axel, but just looking over him and just circling
yes.
around him.
That's actually pretty standard.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Alright, so some of you are definitely fully in sight. Some of you are kind of off to the periphery. At this point, you see the lanky-looking man in Ismark walking up to the stocks. The man kind of clears his throat. Hello, everyone, citizens of Valakai. It is I, your burgomaster, here with a proclamation. In cooperation with our dear friends from the village of Barovia, I have found it prudent to release these individuals from their learning opportunity. Ismark, do you wish to say anything to the town here in the name of friendship between our two villages? Ismark looks a little uncomfortable, kind of put on the spot. I just want everyone to know that I hope tomorrow's festival goes very well. And, I'm sorry to inform you that my father, the burgomaster of Barovia, has passed. I am here on just a diplomatic envoy to repair long eroded relations with your village. I look forward to tomorrow's festival and to all of the joys and glories that this village had or has. And the other individual kind of laughs. It is all right, Ismark. We all stumble in our times of grief. Do not worry. Friends, villagers, we all will see you tomorrow at the Festival of the Blazing Sun. I look forward to the joyous cries and laughter of the children as we all celebrate yet another glorious day in Valakai. Remember, all will be well. And he just kind of like bows a little bit, and there's an awkward silence before everyone starts applauding.
Polite applause from Saya. Remember, I didn't even try to hide. We're just sticking out, so all will be well. I'm applauding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm applauding to not stand out and be one of the people applauding.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of like awkwardly shuffles about as you see the large imposing figure of Izek and the other guards kind of walking up onto the main stage area, and Izek pulls out the key ring on his belt and he whispers something to them as he unlocks the padlock. The various people kind of stumble around, a little disorienting. Yeah, this is the first time they've fully stood on their legs in a couple of days here. And they awkwardly take the plaster donkey head masks off their heads and like stumble out of the town square area. Some of them kind of crying, some of them trying to just avoid the stares from everybody. What would y'all like to do?
Is Mark and the other burgomaster still in the town square?
Yes.
Because Saya's gonna lean towards Verity. I don't think we should talk to him while he's around the burgomaster.
That analysis is logical.
Raz kind of whispers to the two ladies talking. Do you think we should tell him about the spy in his midst? In the coffin maker?
Ismark also knows about that.
Fair enough.
I'm also not sure that Izek isn't also a spy.
Looking out for Izek specifically, where is he in all this now at this point?
He is still standing on the main stage, having just unlocked the stocks. Near the stairs heading up, you see Ismark and the burgomaster talking at the next level down. There's two guards flanking Izek up on the stage area.
Is he handling the people a little roughly?
He basically just unlocked it, threw the stocks open, and kind of was like, whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to at least attempting to hide.
Okay. Everybody, you see for a moment Izek's eyes darting into the crowd. Like you just see him notice something, and he begins to start moving towards the group.
Who has the doll currently? I presume we took it from Pocket since we weren't going to let Pocket talk to him.
I'm guessing Verity.
Fair.
At about this point, you see him starting to draw for his sword, or for his axe, and then the burgomaster and Ismark kind of just walk in front of him, and you see him like angrily like gripping the hilt of his axe.
Should we, perhaps we should disappear again?
It looks like the Burgomaster and Ismark are heading right to you guys.
Intentionally, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No
Park's
disappearing
gonna
now?
turn around at least so he's not facing them.
Yeah. Axel, you seem to definitely be not noticed, as they seem to be heading towards the kind of like the congregation of Nanaha and Roz and Verity and Saya.
I turn to Pocket and just say, "Be ready. I think it might be time to go here." And I'm not gonna run toward them or anything, but I'm just gonna start like working through the crowd, like approaching the group, still keeping a bit of a distance, but trying to close it some.
Okay.
We said no unless something went wrong.
And to Axel's eyes, it looks like something's about to go wrong.
Back, boy.
Your mic is doing it again.
Sorry. And did you hear me?
For the most
Can you-
part.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
A
It's
little
just
crackly.
like crackly. Like it sounds like an old like you're plugging it in and unplugging it over and over while you're talking.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. So Axel thinks something's about to go wrong, and I'm just gonna restart my Discord here real quick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do. All right. I'll keep
Okay.
going.
Is that any better?
Yeah, much.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
You see.
Oh, and this again. When's the last time you checked your connections to the headset?
All the time? Is it? Oh, am I still on? Hang on. Let me. Sorry, I'm on voice.
Okay.
Okay. So are these the friends you spoke of, Ismark? Yes. Yes, Baron Vargas. Everyone, I would like you to meet the village burgomaster, Baron Vargas Valakovich. And you see him kind of puff his chest out. Ah, well, it is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances. Ismark has informed me that you have some information that might be beneficial to the town, yes?
Saya curtsies. Well, you would be in the best position to make decision if the information is very useful, but we have it to provide.
I like this one, Ismark. She understands how to talk to authority. What is this information, my dear?
We've heard a disturbing rumor that your coffin maker might be working with the Devil Strahd.
I see. He kind of strokes his chin a little bit. What led you to this information?
Well, sir, you may be able to tell that I and my friends are not from around here.
Yes, and while we have had our disagreements with outsiders in the past, if the burgomaster, the burgomaster of Barovia vouches for you, then I will take his word at it.
Well, as you know, since we're not from around here, one of us, before we understood who we were speaking to, had an interaction with the Devil Strahd himself, who informed us that the coffin maker was working with him.
I see. He kind of just looks at you. Well, Henrik does not seem the sort to do such, but I do not want anything to risk ruining tomorrow's festival. Would you sort be willing to look into this affair for us?
We would
And if
be
you
very-
find such evidence, I will personally see to it that guards will come and arrest him for such malfeasance.
It would be our pleasure to do this service for you.
He kind of laughs. Do this, and I would personally love for you all to have positions of honor at tomorrow's festival.
Pocket
What
is
say
full
you?
gagging at this appeasing.
Verity looks viscerally uncomfortable, but doesn't curtsy. Does a little, hands together, namaste bow, and she, just a generous offer, Burgomaster. We will, we will do our best.
That is very good to hear. Come. Come, Isaac. We need to make sure that we do not miss our next appointment. It's been a pleasure meeting you all.
Oh, that's ominous.
Ismark, you have good company. I am glad to see that. And he kind of, cracks his back a little bit and starts walking off as Ismark just kind of gives that sort of wordless "I'm sorry" shrug.
Saya just shrugs back at him.
And they start walking away from the town square, heading back towards the direction of the inn and where you saw the Burgomaster's manor to be.
Once they're actually out of sight, Saya is just going to drop the smile and bleh. I hate talking to authority.
Oh, good. I was starting to wonder if you just were like that.
That was uncharacteristically diplomatic of you. I'm impressed.
I love chaos. I don't love chaos that's gonna get me killed.
Thank you for being the one to talk.
That is why I said nothing.
Well, he was as unpleasant as I remember him to be.
If he's gonna make us guess, does that mean I'm no longer wanted here, or does he not know that I was there?
Wait, was that Irina popping up out of nowhere?
Yes.
Well, I think we should figure out what is going on with the coffin maker and determine if we will truly be guests before we discuss whether or not you are still a wanted cat.
I would assume you're wanted until those posters go away.
So Saya's
At
gonna
least I'm
turn.
worth a lot.
Saya's gonna turn to Irina. Well, we were going to talk to Isaac, but I fear that if the conversation went south, now it would be seen as an attack on the Burgomaster.
Yes. I agree. As much as I would have loved to have given peace of mind to that man, there is some more important business to do. I will. What I might do is I might try to spread a little bit of misinformation about our friend over here, and she kind of motions with her head towards Pocket. Try and maybe make up some stories so people don't immediately think it's him. Maybe I can spin it as it's some sort of werewolf.
Well, the posters don't look exactly like me. They do look a little doggish. Kind of shrugging.
Oh, you missed that already, hit people guy.
Yes,
That
well,
has happened.
if we can try and pass off something, at least to keep some of the more ambitious bounty hunters off your backs, I would certainly want to do that. From the little bit I picked up at the Blue Water, those two wolf hunters would probably sell their own grandmother for a quick gold piece.
There is a carnival in town. Maybe spreading rumors that he's here to join that?
Perhaps, but then that might put Rictavio's stay here at risk.
Fair.
I do not wish to make an enemy of someone right now. Well, other than the immediate obvious, and she kind of, makes a gagging motion. Alright, well, I will meet you all again later, and I hope everything goes well.
Take care, Irina. Or Nikolai. Take care of Nikolai.
She kind of laughs.
Visible concern at her going off somewhere alone, but okay.
You
I think
could
as long as it's
take
daytime,
Mogget?
it's okay.
Is the
Sorry.
Hmm?
Nebby, you were saying something. I didn't mean to talk over you.
You could take Mogget?
Sure, why not?
So she
Well-
passes over.
The little pseudo dragon kind of comes on over, and Irina takes a shawl that a shawl she was previously wearing that she didn't need in her current disguise, and just kind of drapes it over him or over them. All right, well, best of luck.
Same to you.
To the coffin maker, then.
What?
One moment.
Were you also checking how far away familiars could be to communicate with their person? Because I was.
100 feet, I think.
It is.
You could give Mogget instruction to come get you if Irina's in trouble.
Oh, that instruction is implied. Is if there's trouble, you get me.
You all make your way further into the village, keeping your eyes peeled for the coffin maker's shop. Despite all the death and despair you've seen in this valley, you don't imagine there to be many coffin maker shops.
Plus, Erwin
But-
said it's all boarded up.
Mm-hmm. You find your way in, and eventually, as a wind kind of blows through the village, the clouds looming overhead, you hear the creaking of a sign. You see a two-story tall building with a sign creaking, blowing back and forth in the wind. It's shaped like a coffin. All of the window shutters are closed up tight, and there is a deathly silence surrounding the establishment.
So I was going to take one look, take a step back, and go, yep, alright, one of you who's better in the front can go in the front.
can do.
Thank you, Axel.
I'll follow after Axel.
So this building's entirely boarded up.
Yes, it is.
Can I hear anything at the door?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Aw.
That 19.
You don't seem to really. You put your ear up to the door, and really the only sound you can hear, other than your own breathing, is the creaking of the rusty hinges of the wooden sign hanging above the door.
Are there any kind of like gaps in the boards that are boarding up the place?
In the windows, there might be a couple of spots that you could maybe peek into.
Nanaha is going to try to peer in there.
Okay. Roll a perception check, please, Nanaha. So it's hard to particularly see. The closest window that you can find, you peer in, and it seems to be just a small sitting room with a lantern hanging from the ceiling on a chain. The lantern gives off a little bit of light, but there seems to be no one in the room.
Oh, we can see inside there a little bit.
A little bit.
Do you mind asking Nana how to move out of the way?
Go for it.
Roz moves up to the crack, turns into a shadow, and phases through.
Okay. As Roz phases through the shadow, the one crack that you could see was a window about... One second. A window about here. So Roz, you'd be moving in there, yeah.
Sorry, I just moved where Nana was.
No worries.
It is a shop. Have we tried the door?
That's what I was gonna do.
It is boarded up.
Is the door actually boarded up?
Yes.
Well, someone's supposed to be here, but Roz already went in. At least let me take a quick look around, because if someone's here, then they must be getting in out somehow. I kind of want
All right,
to
go
circle the
ahead.
building and see if there's
Roz.
like the door.
Roz, what do you do when you get inside?
I look around, and
Okay.
since I know where the door is, I begin heading in that direction.
Okay. You are able to do so. There's a door there, and a door there.
Well, I would be going through this door here.
Okay.
Is it locked?
No.
Boarded up?
Nope. As you walk in, you see a rather pitiful looking man, kind of old and graying, very weathered lines under his face. As you walk through the door, he basically screams at your presence and like falls over himself. How did you get here? How did you get in? We're closed. Please go away.
No, I will not. And you cannot escape me.
Please. I do not wish to give any sort of resistance.
I do
The
not
vampires-
say that.
The vampires made me steal the bones from the church. They are upstairs. I gave myself willingly. This is not what I had signed up for.
Roz seems very visibly confused and he has no idea what this. Very Push talk.
So,
Um,
did we hear the scream?
You did. Those of you that were outside, you did hear the scream.
Oh, Pocket was going to explain that he ran around the building knowing full well that his friends would leave him behind if he wasn't quick. He just ran around and looked at the entrances and exits. I think there was only one other door, and I'll point that out, but upon hearing the scream, leave it to the group as to what we're going to do.
Pocket, do you think you can pick that open really quickly?
We can try.
Roz, after he has basically prostrated himself on the floor.
Okay. How does the interior of the door look?
The
As
interior
far
of
as
the,
blocked up and stuff.
the interior of the door has several like iron bars slid across. So kind of like it's braced by several locked bars on the inside.
Where are the keys to those?
You can open them from the inside.
Do not move, or you are dead.
He lays there whimpering.
Puck is, at this point, still attempting to open the lock, not knowing that Roz is on the other side about to open the door.
You will still need to make a strength check, as there's wooden boards brace on the door from the other side.
On the outside that we're on?
Yes.
I was going to look at Axel. Do you mind helping me with these?
Yeah, of course. So, Axel, actually, yeah, we give me your crowbar, Pocket.
Well, I was thinking I'll use the crowbar, and you use those big muscly arms of yours.
That works. All right, I will assist Pocket. Or however I
Okay.
can.
All right, Pocket, you get advantage anyway, so go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Between Axel and Pocket, you're able to start prying the boards off. Roz, the bracing bars on the inside are very easy to just slide back. And you are able to open the door.
Welcome to the coffin shop.
Oh, well, that works too.
Magic.
When Axel walks in, he sees the man just like splayed out on the floor. You can get up, man. We're not going to hurt you. We just have some questions.
Apparently, he is also a thief.
Your friend told me not to move. I do not wish to enrage his ire.
That's fair.
Seems
He
logical.
usually says those things and means them.
He said that the bones are upstairs, and that the vampire made him do it.
Bones? Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Whose bones?
He kind of like nervously takes a sigh. About a week ago, there was a wealthy man who came into my shop promising me that there would be good business in exchange for my help. Since then, he forced me under pain of death to take the bones of Saint Angelo from the nearby church. They were sold to me by the gravedigger there. And once I returned, he has taken over my shop and has not let me leave. By the morning, Lord, I want none of this. Please throw me in the brig. Throw me in the jail if that is what you wish.
We'll escort you to the burgomaster.
And where are the bones now?
They are upstairs. Please
How do we get upstairs?
There is a set of stairs next to this room. You head in through the door to the north. That will lead to one of my storage rooms. Then there is a set of stairs upstairs. Please be careful. He has left many of his servants in wait up there. I do not wish for you to be ambushed.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Go ahead. Dude seems utterly scared shitless for his life right now, and has no incentive to lie to you.
All right then. Well, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it.
Do you know how many of his servants are there?
Last I was allowed upstairs, there were 4. There may be more now.
Oh, at the mention of 4, Verity grabs her quill focus and draws the symbol for mage armor on her hand and casts mage armor on herself.
I do not know this man. After we discussed this business and he forced me to do this work, he is somehow able to just appear inside my shop at will.
Well, your
Okay.
shop was not that hard to peer inside of, to be honest.
No, up here he manifests freely.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you don't know who hired you, do you?
He said his name was Vasily van Holtz.
No, not him.
I am not an idiot. I am aware that it is either the devil himself or one of his servants.
Okay, good. We're on the same page then.
Well, I feel we should probably get those bones, whatever they are. If he wanted them taken, we should probably get them back. We can use them as leverage to keep ourselves in good standing. Maybe get pocket free.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
And at this point, the coffin shop
Jinx on
owner
Nana.
is just kind of like cowering there.
So you'll, I assume, be in the same position when we return? We will escort you safely to the Burgomaster, where you can turn yourself in.
I am a dead man either way. If I flee, then it will be either the guard or one of you or Strahd who will see me dead. My biggest chance for survival is to stay here.
We are the smallest death threat in this scenario.
Maybe.
I didn't
Well,
say
at
we
least-
weren't a threat.
At least if we escort you to the Burgomaster, perhaps with the fact that you were tricked into this, we can get some leniency.
The only leniency I wish for is for no one else to suffer due to my fool actions.
Well, let's see if we can't clean up some of your mess to prevent more death and pain.
A lot of people suffer due to my fool actions. I think you'll be fine since I'm still here.
Surprisingly, yes.
He seems a little confused at that remark, as he has clearly not left his house in a long time. So he would not have seen the wanted posters.
We are an obtuse bunch. Don't worry about it.
Raz is clearly getting antsy, so he just kind of walks into the other room.
Okay. You see, Roz, as you walk in, you find yourself in an L-shaped room with several coffins just haphazardly scattered about.
Are they all closed lid or are they open?
They are all closed lid.
And Raz will begin systematically opening up each of the coffin lids, expecting to find a vampire or a Lumi inside.
Pocket is 100% expecting duplicate Nanas.
The rest of you all walk into this coffin room, and you see Roz opening each lid systematically. Each one of them is empty. There is nothing in them. It takes you about a good, I'd say, 5-10 minutes to get through all of them.
Okay, as long as they're empty.
Are we leaving the lids off to make sure nothing can materialize inside them? This is an out-of-character question.
Sure. I mean, you could leave the lids off. That's fine.
Can we pop and open the windows so that in case anything comes downstairs, they run into a sea of sunlight?
There's really no sunlight outside. It's very filtered.
Yes. Derp.
I will say Pocket is on full guard, rapier out, even with nothing around. He's taking the dodge action even though he's not in combat.
I actually pause in the room here to put on his shield and take out one of his spears and just like let the group know that.
No, you're gonna have to re-say that. That was all static.
Alright,
He's getting out his spears and shield.
Okay.
But once we have made sure this room is as safe as we can make it, excuse me, Saya, that door next to you is the way up, I believe.
She moves, gesturing it to him.
Okay. There is a set of stairs leading up to the second floor. Roz, I assume you're taking point.
Yep. Following Pocket's lead, defensively, going up the stairs, shield at the ready.
Okay. You head upstairs and you find yourself... There are a set of 2 doors up here.
I'll follow after him, since no one else is moving.
And I'll go after Pocket.
I'll go after Sa-
He will turn left.
Okay.
And kind of motion to Pocket to keep an eye on the other door.
Put my back towards Roz and rapier pointed towards the other door.
You all head upstairs. Roz, you open the room. You find yourself in another L-shaped chamber. The room itself is drafty, a little cold, a little unnerving. There are cobwebs everywhere. You see stacks of wooden planks, and there are various crates in the room that have, in large red painted letters, just say junk.
Well, he will just kind of continue to make sure it's safe while everyone else kind of like gets up and into the rooms and such.
Okay.
Whoever's last, be careful of the other door. Other than that, following after Roz.
Okay.
We will systematically clear these rooms.
is this any better for the mic, by the way?
A little bit.
Maybe I just need a new mic.
Might be.
Probably.
Okay. Alright, if you wish to explore the room, you can roll me an investigation. Otherwise, the room in front of you is... There are lots of planks of wood and these junk crates.
Roz took the lead downstairs with the coffins, and everyone's trying to tell him not be a coward, so he's gonna, like, move things with his rapier to investigate.
Okay.
Not meant to be an advantage, but
It's fine. You rolled the
It's
same thing
not.
twice.
I think I will use my inspiration and go with advantage on this investigation.
Okay. All right, Roz, you also systematically go through this room. You
Yep.
see, other than the various wood and storage supplies for tools such as like hammers and nails and rolls of velvet, there's nothing of immediate notice. You do see all of those crates scattered across the room. They seem to be the only other thing. Every single one of the crates do all have the word junk painted on them.
Well, you'll keep an eye out while Pocket seems to open up the crate that's closest to him.
Okay. Pocket, you're going to be opening the crate?
Yep.
All right. Roll me an athletics check to pry the lid off.
If it's stuck, can I use the crowbar?
Yes, all of the lids are nailed down.
Got it. We're using the crowbar.
Best key ever.
You said athletics?
Yes. It was an advantage because crowbar, but you don't need it. You pry the lid open. And as you do, you see a metal, what looks like to be a metal helm of some sort. And you see underneath there's a gray-skinned humanoid shape as what appears to be a small, rather squat-looking dwarf. A rusted chainmail covering his body. A cracked and defaced holy symbol dangling from his neck. And as you hear him groaning and popping out of the crate, you hear the other crates in the room all begin to crack as the lids are thrown open. Emerging from them are several more gray-skinned humans. One long, pointed ears, ratty, blackish hair, torn, what looks to be sorcerer's robes. You see another in very worm-eaten leather armor, rusted daggers dangling off her belt. You see a couple of humans in rusted armor. Many of them seem to... You can kind of tell by the air of them. They have some sort of vibe of being adventurers. And with that, I'm going to need everyone to please roll initiative.
Junk is code for monster!
For those of you that were downstairs in the Barovian village church, all of these people have the same sort of grayish mottled skin that Doru had.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Wow, so one of them took us like 3 rounds or 4 rounds to kill, and there's
To be
6
fair,
of them.
it's because his pops put sanctuary on him, and we just couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like,
And
my
one
God,
person
this is gonna
wasn't
take forever
fighting.
today.
Plus now we're, level 4. I have shatter. This is a thing.
All right.
They count as non-living, right? Right.
Maybe.
My 17 didn't go to the tracker.
Okay, 1 second. $19 from Verity, 19 from Nanaha. Okay, Nanaha has the higher dex, so she's a 19 plus. Is a +3, so they got a 22. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. All right, I think that's everybody. Is everybody on the initiative tracker?
Yep.
I am.
Okay.
Gotcha, Crackles.
All right, the adventurer vampire spawn. Go first. The dwarven man comes out of the crate. His rusted armor chinking and clanking. He is going to strike out at Pocket. Okay, that is a miss. And that is also a miss. So he slashes at you with his claws. Your fight or flight instinct taking over as you basically like backpedal. A feline yowl of anxiety coming from your lips as it avoids, as you avoid its swings.
Oh no!
Alright. This one is going to move and crawl along the wall here. This one is going to do the same over here. This one is going to come in and attack Roz.
Would they have disadvantage because I was doing everything defensively, or no?
They would.
Sweet.
Okay, that's a miss. And your AC is
20.
20. That is also a miss as you dodge and weave out of their slashing at you. Many of them are kind of like hissing and snarling. They have... Whereas like Doru had some semblance of sapience behind him, these seem to be so long since they've fed that they're almost on feral instinct. Nanaha, you're up.
All right, Nanaha is going to punch you at the one closest to her first.
All right, go ahead.
And this will be the Radiant Sun thing.
You are going to have disadvantage as you are using a ranged attack into melee.
Okay, how about then I go behind Roz and then go for one of them that's to the right of him.
Okay, you can do that. The one next to you is going to have an attack of opportunity.
Go for
as
it.
you reach out of it. It slashes forward at you with its claws, and the dwarven figure hits you with a 22.
Dang.
I rolled really well.
How much damage?
1 second. You take 7 points of slashing damage, and you are currently grappled and cannot move, as the dwarf has like latched onto your thigh.
All right, disadvantage it is.
You blast off with your laser punches. The radiant light seems to be like basically reflecting off of the rusty chainmail. It doesn't seem to have pierced off. The dwarven man shields his eyes with his free hand. You could do an offhand punch you if you wanted. Okay, you use this momentary time where he's got his eyes averted, and you give him a fistful of holy radiance as you channel your your inner training, and you just blast him right in the face for 6 damage.
That's all I'm doing this time. I don't think I can do anything else.
No, unfortunately, because your movement speed is currently 0. Verity,
He has been dotted. What does the dot mean?
that they took radiant damage.
Okay. Well, Verity can't really see much from where she is, and she can't really get in because it's awfully crowded in this corner. So she's just gonna attempt to not use her dark divine soul powers and let rip with her natural magical ability, which is always fun and interesting for her to try and use. And is going to cast a Chaos Bolt at that one because it's the only one she can see.
Okay, sounds good.
And it's not at all because I want to test and see if I put this in right.
Okay. Okay, roll your d8s. You launch this blast of multicolored energy that just peppers across its face. Where's the extra d... Oh, never mind. Derp.
It got buried, but so it's okay. So it did roll correctly. All right.
Yeah, so the first one is a 7. And so you see like blood beginning to ooze out of the dwarven figure's eyes as it yowls as the psychic assault of energy peppers into its brain.
Hooray! It worked. Okay. And then for her bonus action, she will use she will consume one of her 2 sorcery points to give herself the spell slot she just used, first level.
Okay.
I believe that's how it works.
Okay.
That should be it, since we're kind of walled in here.
Pocket.
Are these wood slats here, like how piled high are they? And can I stand on them?
You could. It'll be a little precarious. They're about like chest height of like lumber just stacked.
I'm gonna hop up on it to free up some space in the room.
Okay.
We're gonna stab with this rapier.
Okay, go ahead. Roll with advantage.
Looking at Verity for inspiration because he got a scolding.
Okay. You plunge your rapier right down in, like, right underneath the shoulder blade of this dwarf, causing him to snarl as, like, thick blackish blood oozes out. Roll your damage with sneak attack.
Sneak attack or regular attack damage. Sneak attack damage. And then, for the first time ever, he's gonna unleash his Wails of the Grave and whip his head around and look at the enemy directly in front of Roz.
Okay.
45 damage.
All right. So that is a total of 19 from your first. So you do feel the thing's unholy flesh being resistant to your blade, but you are able to just, with enough force, pierce it in. You look at the one right next to Roz, and you kind of, like, your eyes momentarily go like this black, voidish, like no light reflecting. And for a moment, you all hear this kind of, like, wailing noise. And the vampire, this one, kind of the sorcerer, elven sorcerer-looking woman, eyes start bleeding.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Roz, you are up.
Ross sees all of them swarming all over him and gives in to the darkness, shadows billowing out around him. He goes into his rage And then we'll stab at the one on the wall.
Okay. All right. The darkness whelming up over you, you channel that hatred and negative energy, and you thrust your rapier, and it goes right into the side of this individual who seems to have been, in their former life, a human male adventurer. Fuck, that's some damage.
And he is marked.
Okay.
So Raz is apparently one of the God of Swole's people.
What does marked do in this instance?
Whomever I attack gets marked until the end of my next turn. If they attack anyone other than me, they are at disadvantage and do half damage to whomever they attack.
Okay. You do notice that your rapier you do have to put more force behind it than you usually do to go through normal flesh, but you still did a pretty grievous wound.
Yeah, I'm expecting all of this to be half damage because I don't have a magical weapon. But I figured since that one was running along the walls, he might have the idea of running past me, and I can't have that.
Sure. All right. Bonus to rage. Okay, you're up. Axel, you're up.
I think you're muted.
Okay. Is this really backtracked? I can type everything. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get to this tile that I'm on here? It's hard for me to, like, when I'm in the hall, I can't really see this room.
Yeah, you can get on that tile just fine.
Okay. So, I'm going to get into here and see there's this, like, moral of darkness, and there's zombies everywhere. It's like, well, this is not great. So Axel raises his shield and, like, firmly, half of a yell, be gone, fiends. I'm going to use my unholy channel divinity here.
Okay, so 30 feet that you can see. Alright, so that's basically, I think, everybody. Yep, that's all of them.
Excellent. So it's a DC 13 save, or they're turned for a minute.
Okay. Fail. Forgive me for a second. This is a lot to mark. Okay, so that one is also turned. Okay. That one is turned. That one is turned. And the remaining three make their wisdom saves.
And then I guess I'll use my bonus. It's not really a bonus action, but I just to the group. If they flee, let them flee.
Okay. Saya, you're up.
So the one in front of me is turned?
It does seem there does seem to be a level of fear washing over its eyes.
Fair. So casting a spell out on the ones, like, out by Roz would be at disadvantage for me because I'm next, like, I'm in melee range?
It would be disadvantage if you tried to shoot into melee.
Okay. I was just checking. Cause
they do have some. The one that's on the wall would not have cover, but the one in front of Roz would have some semblance of cover from the wooden planks.
Not sure how much cover is going to help them. Okay, so a 10-foot radius sphere. So I need to draw a 10-foot radius sphere.
On save.
Are we about to break all of the turning that's in front of me?
Yes.
Sweet.
I mean,
We
I'm
wanna
aiming
fight.
like I'm actually trying to aim it back at the 2. Like I'm just bad at drawing circles. Yeah, so like
Okay.
I'd aim it back there.
All right. So just so you're aware, you would hit one of them unless you basically set it out this way.
That's all right. I'll take the hit on it. Like force it to
Okay.
make the save for the damage. Sorry, Raz.
Okay.
Oh, I don't care. Blow up everything in front of me.
Okay. So the save is DC 14.
Yep.
The one next to Roz does not make it save. The one by the window makes it save. And the one next to it makes it save.
Alright, they at
So is
least
it
take
just-
half.
It's 8 thunder damage.
Yes. Oh, the full spell didn't go. Oh, that's because I have it listed elsewhere too. Wait, did that roll correctly?
Yeah, you rolled a 4, a 3, and a 1. You just rolled really crappy damage.
But it's at second level, so there's actually another D8.
You rolled 3d8s. You rolled a 3, a 4, and a 1.
Yes, and because I'm casting at second. Why does it?
It is a second level spell.
Well, why does it word that way? Like none of the other spells word that way. Anyway, yes. So 8 to the one that failed and 4 to the 2 that saved.
Alright. Also, something to note. The window next to the one that's standing by a window, the window just shatters from the force of the damage, the ringing cacophony.
Yeah, people are gonna know there's a fight.
Okay.
The art sanctioned by the Burglemaster.
Alright, so this one is no longer turned because it took damage. Alright. Roz, in particular, you notice the one in front of you. Actually, the two in front of you. You see their wounds beginning to knit up. As, like, this blackish energy kind of grabs the flesh and, like, reconnects it.
They can heal.
The one down here, that one is, let's see, going to try to scramble up the wall to try and get away. So it is going to use its entire movement to basically scramble up to the ceiling. So you see this dwarf hanging from the ceiling, a la like The Exorcist.
Well, at least it let go of my leg.
Does it trigger any?
It would trigger attacks of opportunity if that's what you want to do.
Oh no, I'm saving my reaction, thanks. But other people might want to.
He's turned. Just leave him to the end. We can round him up.
As long as he hides in the corner, I don't.
Alright, this one is going to scramble back and slip out the window unless as it's running away.
Oh.
This one is going to scramble back along the wall over here. And the remaining ones are going to advance. Alright. Roz, as the bastion right now, they're all going to start swarming y'all.
Yep.
At least he's angry.
That is a miss. That is a miss. 2 of those are a miss. Okay. And one more. Okay. So 3 hits or 3 attacks get you. So you take 7 points of slashing damage, reduced to 3 because of rage. You take another 5 points, so this would have been 11, reduced to 5 because rage. And this last one, as it claws into you, it sinks its hand into your shoulder, grabbing a hold of you, and attempts to bite down into your neck and try to draw blood. And that it rolled a 21. So that is 9 points of piercing, rounded down to 4. And you take 6 points of necrotic damage, reducing your max HP by 6.
I am resistant to necrotic damage as well.
You
Does
take
that
3
affect-
You take 3 points of necrotic damage, and your max HP is reduced by 3.
Okay. Which is the one that has bit me?
This is the one that bit you. Okay, that is going to be their turns. Nanaha, you are up.
Can I attack the one in front of me without it being disadvantage?
The one here?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that because it's scrambled on the wall right now and kind of like on top of the pile of wood. Okay, you once again reach deep inside and channel the raw emotions, and you let loose this bolt of energy out of your fist, and it slams into this vampire, which is which seems to be like an elven-looking man in the dilapidated leather armor. It snarls and hisses as the holy energy washes over it. Okay. And before it has time to really recover, you do this again, launching another bolt of holy energy at it, and it almost falls off the wall from the force of the blow.
Okay, so it's looking pretty bad.
I mean, it took a pretty solid blow that turn. It did just heal up damage this round.
I'm going to do a key point and do even more hits.
Okay, so you get one more then, since you've already used your bonus, so.
Still learning. It's been a while.
Okay, go ahead and roll if you're going to do that. Okay, that is another hit. So the rest of you see her just basically pepper this thing with blasts of energy out of her fist. This vampire's skin begins to blister and hiss as like sickly looking boils pop up and like kind of flake into ash. Verity.
Alright, so Verity pokes her head in. Like, not like stepping on the space, but just kind of like leans in. And so, how bad does Roz look right now?
He looks okay-ish.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken what would have been 30 some odd damage to anyone else, but I'm down 15.
Oh, that's not too bad then. All right, then.
15 of my 49, by the way.
Oh, wow. I forgot you actually have hit points, right? Sorry, that would have been like half with me. All right. So she's going to kind of like slip around. Nope. I'd have to walk on top of Pocket. Oh, my God. There you go, buddy. Just kind of slide past him.
You can move through ally squares without losing movement.
I know, it's weird that she has to take such a circuitous route to... Anyway, and then the one that Nanaha hit, she's gonna fucking let it rip with her bloodline of Balthazar, Ray of Sickness, and we're gonna spend one more sorcery point to twin it towards which one's the one that it doesn't really matter. We'll hit that one with the other one.
Okay.
So it's now I've never done this. It's two separate attack rolls, right? One for each.
1 second, let me check. Okay, it doesn't really specify, so I will say you can roll separate attack rolls. Sure.
Okay. And then since we're just blowing everything, we'll use the inspiration on the first attack roll.
Okay.
On the one that Nanaha is injured.
Okay.
And that is probably not good enough, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, you launched this blast of...
Well,
thickness.
before I actually launch it, we'll use our favored by the gods roll to get 2d4, and hopefully that'll push us over the edge.
Very nice. Okay, yeah, that does. Greenish blast of energy washes over. And you see it kind of like stumble a little bit. Holy shit, that's a lot of damage.
It's cast at second level.
Ah, okay.
And it's free, but you can only do it once a long rest, so...
Alright, so con save. Fails. So that is a fuck ton of damage. Okay. Roll to hit the other one.
Yeah. And let me turn off advantage here.
That one lives. It is till its turn. It's poisoned, so it's at disadvantage and everything.
Yeah. I don't know how an undead can be poisoned, but sure.
I was just thinking that.
You launch the second bolt of energy. However, the vampire spawn, not having been peppered by bolts of bolts of light, it is wise to this and dodges out of the way of the blast.
Alright, look, it's hard to control two spells at once.
Hey, no judging.
Alright, and that costs a sorcery point. So what we'll do then with the bonus action is we will, So I've got it open on a second monitor because I can't remember. We will consume a second level slot, which should give her 2 sorcery points back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we will... Because she actually has no second level spells expressly for this purpose, so... And then that should do it.
Actually, no. Oh, never mind, you're right. It costs more sorcery points to make them than you get back.
Yeah, it's not a sustainable cycle, sadly, but yeah. Probably by design.
Yes.
And that'll be the turn.
Okay, Pocket. You go.
Oh boy. We're going to, I guess, leave space for Axel to come in, but we're going to shamble across the wood and head up next to Roz.
Okay.
And
Roll me an acrobatics check just to keep your balance.
Oh no.
Damn. Okay. You scramble over, trying not to scramble onto Verity. You fall off the planks of wood. Verity, I need you to make an a dexterity save, please.
You bastard. All right. You cat bastard! You dirty cat!
Verity, no! Okay, Verity and Pounce, you are currently both prone now, as the pile of wood gives way when Pounce tries to...
Pocket, but yes.
Or sorry, when Pocket tries to dodge out of the way of Verity on the wall. And so you both end up just falling to the ground as the pile of wood gives way.
Do I have any movement left?
You can get up for half your speed.
I will get up, and we will just hit... is this one up on a wall, or is it in range for me to actually hit?
It is up on a wall, but you're tall enough that you can hit it without it being at disadvantage.
Got it. Well, I was mostly concerned that it's actually in range, but yeah, we're gonna stab.
All right, yeah, you are able to connect with it. Your rapier going in, not doing as much damage as you would like.
But the sneak attack comes in,
Okay, so you do a total of 9 damage.
and then we'll look at the one that bit Roz and use my last Will of the Grave.
All right, all of you, once again, you see Pocket's eyes just go like pitch black, which is a little unnerving because most cats have very reflective eyes. But it goes pitch black, and you hear this kind of cacophony of wailing, and the vampire spawn clutches their head and just groans as blood pools out of their eyes and ears.
End of my turn.
Okay. Roz, you're up.
Not liking this thing attached to his neck, Raz will do his best to break free.
Okay.
And since I am enraged, I have advantage.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
you thoroughly batted away. And in fact, I will actually say that with that nat 20, you were able to do it so reflexively that instead of your actual action being burned, you burn your bonus action.
Okay, well then in that case, he will turn to the one that's been beat on by everybody else and add a bit of damage in to the one that's there.
Okay.
Ooh, forgot to turn off the advantage.
It's fine. You angrily, you take your blade and you just ram it right into this rib cage. The former adventurer, groaning, and you do 6 points of damage. Axel, your go.
Is this tile accessible, or is this whole thing just collapsed at this point?
So, what I'll do here, 1 second. Freehand.
Hot pink squiggles.
Yes.
A perfect accessory for any sorcerer.
Okay, so the area with the squiggles is currently scattered across the floor.
Okay, so can I do something like go to Pocket's tile and then kitty corner up there?
Up onto this pile of wood?
Nope, to that one.
Okay, you can do that. You will need to make me an acrobatics check just to keep your footing.
Oh boy.
Couldn't have planned it better.
Don't getting on these stupid boards. You have a spear for a reason.
Okay, Axel, you hop up on there, but you misjudge how sturdy the pile of boards are, and your leg kind of catches on one of the end pieces as you hop up on there, causing the wooden planks to scatter underneath you. Verity, you get hit by a couple of wooden boards as they fall on top of you. No damage, just one of those "this is my life" moments.
Pride.
Axel, you are prone, but you still have enough movement to get up.
All right. Axel's gonna stand up. No one saw that, except for Verity. Apparently.
She didn't see it. She's covered in wooden boards now.
Oh, that's excellent. All right, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Divine Favor on my spear,
Okay.
and then I'm going to use my action to attack the one in front of me.
Okay, go ahead. You thrust your spear forward, but this thing seems to have some semblance of, supernatural speed behind it, as it barely just dodges out of the way of your spear, it nicking against, shoulder armor that's barely rusted in place.
Alright, that's my turn.
Saya, you're up.
Okay. So the one that everybody's been pouring their hits into is where I'm aiming.
Okay, that is an Eldritch Blast that connects. Reaching your lantern forward, this blast of bluish light just erupts out, splashing against it. It screeches in pain.
And we'll go ahead and, okay, so Agonizing's already on that, but Lance of Lethargy is not, and the Genie's Wrath. We'll just add 2 more damage if we can.
Okay, so that's an additional...
2 cold damage.
Okay.
And its speed is reduced by 10 feet until until the end of my next turn.
Okay. All right. Well, with this at this point, it is currently 2 p.m. So, thank you everybody for hanging out and playing. And I'm going to hand this back to Nevia.